Hi, it's me, Rashid, the coach, and welcome back to Catch the Coach. It's the September issue, and do you know what that means? It's back to work, back to school, and back to business. I'm recording this very early on, hence the shadows. It's kind of dark here, it's early. The birds are just beginning to tweet. And, you know, this time of the year, going back to work, back to school, or back to business, and it's worth thinking about which of those is relevant for you, is symbolic of so many different things. Start of a new term. Perhaps there's all sorts of changes that you're wanting to make. It's beginning to get darker. The days are becoming shorter. We're more aware that we're heading toward the end of the year. So this is often synonymous with being the most productive time in the year. It's a time that leads up to harvest. It's a time of the year where we know that it's finite, the amount of time that is left in order to achieve things. Hence that saying, the autumn of one's years and so on. For me, it's a really rich season. I love this season very much. It reminds me very much about the times of going back to school, and I used to love that whole process of preparation for that season ahead. And that's what really this month's newsletter is all about. So just a few things that I want to touch on. First of all, in terms of news, thank you so much for everyone who attended the Soul Trader retreat. It was really remarkable. I'm in Lisbon, and there are pictures of that on the Soul Trader Facebook page. So if you go to the Soul Trader Facebook page, you can see pictures of that. And we will be running a 2019 Soul Trader retreat for those of you who are your own bosses in Lisbon. There will only be 8 spaces, so if you're really keen, do drop me an email, but I will be following up with details on that in this newsletter and in the Soul Trader newsletter very, very, very soon. So so you can stay in touch with that here, and of course you can get all the Soul Trader information by going to soul-trader.biz. So that's that. Next up, in terms of news, I want to mention those of you, and in fact in the same vein, those of you on the thinking about starting out, wanting to be your own boss. You may well know, you'd have to live probably on another planet not to know that I'm the Life and Business Coach Partner to the British Library's Business and Intellectual Property Centre. And the British Library is holding its next Business Startup Day. The 2019 Business Startup Day is being run on the 20th of September. It's free, it's full of lots of advice, tips, workshops, seminars, and everything from business planning through to social media, through to research, really everything that you really need to start you on that journey of being your own boss. So if you're thinking about starting out, or perhaps you've been in business for a little bit of a while, but you really need to refresh on that stuff, then check that out. And if you go to www.bl as in British Library.uk and type in /BIPC as in Business Intellectual Property Centre, you'll see the details. But hurry, 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 because spaces of that will go very fast. And again, on that note of business and going back to business, in terms of events, I've got a couple of events, whether it is in fact you're in business or whether it is in your career. My next Networking for Success event, and I highly recommend this for you if you're at that kind of stage where you're realizing actually that you need to give your career a bit of a push, a bit of rejuvenation. Networking for Success will help you to be able to network authentically, effectively, nerve-free and strategically. Really, really useful for those of you who are feeling stuck. You know, very often people just wait along for the job ad to come along. But then you're really limiting your chances. You should really be doing a whole range of things, including networking. So that workshop's going to help you to leverage your own existing network, as well as how to go out there and network authentically, because all sorts of contacts and connections will happen. So in my career, so many and most of the opportunities have come as a result of networking and through my own network. So Soul Trader, next date's 18th of September and the 5th of December from 4 till 7:30 p.m. And if you follow the link right at the top of the newsletter, or if you're watching this on via YouTube, you'll see the link below for that. Then you can see the details. And also my Soul Trader workshop, for those of you who missed the retreat, is being run on the exact same days, 18th of September and 5th of December. And just to let you know, and there goes the train, the people heading off to work, and just to let you know that the Soul Trader workshop is a morning workshop. That's from 10 till 1 p.m. So I'll just repeat that. Soul Trader is from 10 till 1 p.m. And just a few things on this theme of going back to work, back to school, back to business, back to work. Are you still in love with your job? In which case, show it, make sure you share it, make sure you appreciate it. How can you build on that if you really love your job? Are you feeling stuck? If you're feeling stuck, give yourself some time to step back, really ask yourself what's really important to you, and to take that time to really write yourself a plan of action, what you're going to do next. And that might well include things like the networking that we were just talking about, and chatting to people you know, like and trust, perhaps reading up. It might be that you're wanting a complete change, or it might be just a new employer. Really ask yourself what is really important to you in a job, personally, professionally, and in terms of family. But start with your strengths and your skills and your passions. Maybe identify the things you do love in your job and the things that you don't. Thirdly, is it time to move on up? Then again, it's probably about boosting your visibility, making sure you've got the right kind of voice, and that you're seen as valuable within your organisation. And again, networking might be really, really useful for you as you move further forward. Just in terms of this thing back to school, now you might be thinking, well, my school days or my uni days or my studying days are well behind me, but actually I want to get you to think about this. What are the things that you're needing to learn? Perhaps what's one thing that would really enhance your current role? What's one thing that you might need to learn that will really help you move forward in your business if you're running your own business? It might be, a classic one, particularly for lots of people that are passionate about their business, but they might not see them as traditionally business-like. Might be them becoming far more comfortable and at ease, and paying more attention to the numbers, or it might be that you're wanting to really understand the marketing a bit more. What is that thing that you're wanting to learn? So what's one thing to learn? And perhaps for you also that back to school bit might mean maybe there might be something you're wanting to study, maybe the new skills that you're wanting to add into the skill set that will make you more employable. So that's one thing that you're wanting to study. And also finally, in terms of that back to school, who are perhaps 3 people in your industry or in life that you could learn from, and what could you apply from that? Finally, back to business, we've talked to this already, but even if you're not in business, in what way could you be more business-like? What do you need to organise and systemise or simplify that will make your life or your career far more easy? I see lots of people who are very disorganised. And do you have a written plan for your business and career? And if you don't, now's the time to write one. So those are my 3 tips. That brings me along nicely to my tip of the month. My tip of the month is that given that we are heading in toward the final season of the year, as summer gives way to autumn, to fall, I want you to think about perhaps setting one goal for the 3 key areas of your life. Perhaps one goal for yourself and your health, one goal for your career and your business, and one goal for your relationships, friendships, families, and loved ones. So I'll repeat that again. Set one goal for yourself and your health, one goal for your career and your business, and one goal for your relationships, your family, friends, and loved ones. So those things will all work together just to help you to get the best of the season. And I, of course, will continue as we carry on with these Soul Trader newsletters toward the end of the year. I will also pick up on this theme around changing seasons, because there may well be also other changes that you're wanting to pick up. My quote for this month actually ties in that, and for those of you who get the written copy of this, and if you don't already and you'd like to get the written version of this, comes straight through to your email. If you go to my website rosario.com and you will type in my name into a well-known search engine, my website will come up and you'll see all sorts of free stuff, including that. And you can also get my Soul Trader podcast, by the way, for those of you interested in more free stuff. But here's the quote of the month. It's not just a question of doing what you love for a living. It's a matter of doing what you love with love. Then your life and all lives will be transformed. And that's important. It's not just doing something that you love. So that's stage 1. Are you doing something that you love? If not, what is it that you love? And even if you are doing something that you love, how could you be doing what you love with more love? Sharing that love, appreciating what you do deeply. So that's it. That brings us to the newsletter. As always, you can stay in touch with me throughout the month and via the social media links. So if you go on to the quickest way to find the social media links, if you're not reading the written version of the newsletter, is just go to my website, rosario.com, rasaru.com, and right at the top, you'll see the links to the social media. And if you go to the free stuff page, you'll find that. And you'll find me as @Rashid on Twitter and Instagram. Instagram is the most newly added one where you may not have seen my details. And there's lots and lots and lots and lots of other videos on YouTube for you to enjoy. I think there's a couple of 100 other videos which will help you if you're on that journey of thinking about where you are in your life and your career as you head back to work, back to school, and back to business. Take care. Have yourself a wonderful, wonderful season ahead, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.